Hi everyone, thanks for joining me this morning, Wednesday morning here in the UK. I just wanted to make a little video with some food for thought for your Wednesday morning as you go about your work life or your daily life, whatever it is you're up to today. And the topic I wanted to discuss was, can we apply yoga philosophy to our professional lives? Can we apply yoga philosophy to our businesses as business leaders, and in how we conduct ourselves from day to day in the corporate world, essentially? So the first part of the whole yoga philosophy that I wanted to touch on is called, or is known as, Yama, which refers to moral restraints, and it's also known as the first limb of Ashtanga yoga, which is essentially a moral framework leading to greater fulfillment in how we live our lives. So can we apply Yama to our everyday business lives? And Yama is comprised of 5 different subheadings, I would say. The first one is called ahimsa. These are all Sanskrit terms, but translated, ahimsa means non-harming, non-violence. Now obviously you're probably sitting there thinking, well, I don't see so many fist fights in my day-to-day working life. I certainly hope not anyway. I never have. But can we take a broader look at that? Can we widen our perspective of ahimsa and think of non-harming in how we speak to other people? There can, from time to time, be verbal disputes with colleagues or managers or our employees. Can we ensure that the words we're putting across are not deemed as harmful? And obviously that's a tricky one to navigate, since some people are more sensitive than others. But can we put our points across without being a bully, without being harsh, and in a kind, compassionate, considerate way, but still make the point that we've got to make? So have a think about that. Also apply it to how you're talking about other people. Obviously office gossip can be commonplace, but just think about the energy that creates in your workplace and become more mindful of that. And lastly, can we also broaden our perspective and take into consideration how we're thinking about people, about situations? Are we sitting there at our computers fuming away because something that was said to you that you deemed harmful, and now you're reacting and you're directing all your energy essentially into being very I won't say angsty. Are you bringing all that angst into your working environment now? So again, learning some tricks and tools and techniques to be able to cope with the stresses that may come up in your daily work life, so that you're not directing these harmful thoughts to other people, or even to yourself. Perhaps you didn't meet a deadline, a contract, a big sale, and you're beating yourself up about it. Which can be harmful. You might not be so confident the next time you go along to make that pitch. So ensuring that you're not directing harmful thoughts, actions, words towards yourself as well. So that's ahimsa. Moving on, the next one is Satya, which covers truthfulness. So again, you may be sitting there thinking, of course I act in an honest and integral way while I'm in my workplace, as most people tend to do. But again, can we broaden their perspective? Can we look at, again, what we're thinking, how we're speaking, and how we're acting? Can we bring that all into alignment with how we really, truly feel inside of us? And can we speak how we feel to our managers, to our colleagues, to our clients even? All the best client relationships are built upon a solid foundation of trust, and it's quite evident when someone isn't being true to how they feel, or acting in a upstanding manner at times. So bring yourself into alignment. How do you truly feel? Can you speak that in the business setting? Staying grounded, staying compassionate, not losing your head, of course, and can you then act accordingly? And it's not to say sometimes it won't be taken into consideration what you say, but in my experience, people will show you more respect if you do speak your perspective, speak your mind, and you never know, you might add to that person's perspective. They might just never have seen it that way before. So act with Satya, truthfulness, again in client relationships, with your bosses, with your colleagues, and with your employees. Okay, the third one is asteya, which refers to non-stealing. And again, you might be thinking, of course, I'm not stealing anything from my colleagues, from my boss. But again, broaden your perspective. Are you perhaps interrupting conversation a lot of the time? Are you interrupting someone's work a lot of the time? Is someone doing that to you? Can you apply asteya and be mindful of other people's right to have their time, their time to speak, and their time to focus on tasks at hand? Especially in open plan offices, you can be in a situation where you're completely, constantly bombarded by people coming in and asking you questions, queries, and not get the chance to focus on an important task in hand. So being mindful of asteya. And again, this can also relate to stealing ideas, patents, intellectual property. Do you know that your organisation, or some people in your organisation, are not acting in an upright manner? And again, can you speak your mind without any fear of repercussions in a grounded, calm manner? So another thing to ponder this morning. The fourth one is brahmacharya. I can't pronounce that very well, but it relates to channeling of your energy and moderation. So it's knowing that the energy that we direct in our day-to-day tasks in our working lives, we spend so much of our time at work, of course. So can we be mindful of how we're directing our creative energy, how we're channeling that, and can we moderate how we channel our energy also? So again, it's not making sure you're not burning yourself out, and perhaps thinking of how can I apply my own individual creative spark to my job in an everyday manner. So it may just be the way that you are communicating with your colleagues, you're emailing people. Can you add a little bit of your own flair? Sometimes it's not all that easy. You might be in a restrictive place where you can't dress with any creativity, but generally you can find a way to bring that creativity into your everyday lives, and then be mindful of how you're channeling that creative energy. So again, not to perhaps have like YouTube videos playing in your ears while you're concentrating on a specific task in hand. Your energy will be drained in a different direction. And then the last one is aparigraha, which refers to non-greed, non-possessiveness, and non-grasping. And this one was hugely eye-opening, mind-opening to me. I previously was constantly focused on the next step in my life, the next job title on the career ladder, the next pay increase, the next big win for the company to grow. It's how that our corporate worlds are set up, and taking a little bit of a step back from that can perhaps be a tricky thing in working life. But in doing so, you're allowing a greater chance for things to materialize in a positive direction. So it's